Oh no, Brent, the pressure that you've just put on my shoulders now. I think I might be sick and absent for that match tomorrow, perhaps. But we're with the Nkuhumas now, courtesy of Tristan pointing us in the right direction. Now, let me just jump on this game drive radio because I better call myself in very, very swiftly as we watch these two lioness pant. She's going to drink. Okay, we'll go there. Stations relocated on the Nkuhuma Pride. They're still all around Chelepan. Wanna knock? I'll be going radio down, but you're welcome to come join. Radio off. There's another lioness. What's happened to your eye? Is this the one with the sore eye? And I don't have... Yes. You a youngster, though. What's happened to you? Hey? Oh, I don't even have my binoculars. I'm just trying to quickly stare and see what's happened to this youngster. I don't know when that injury occurred. I haven't really seen the Nkuhumas. I mean, I've sat with them. We had them one afternoon. Apparently both of these two have injured eyes. I wasn't here when the Nkuhuma, one of the lionesses, got an injured eye, and I don't know if she can see from it anymore. And this one, it's not great. Sit still, will you, please? The first time you hear me asking a lion to sit still. Okay, no, well, I'm probably not going to get a decent view. That doesn't look nice, eh? I wonder what's happened to her. It got scratched, injured, and taking down some prey, maybe just running through a thicket and not being careful and got poked in the eye by a stick. Or just a simple infection. I don't see any obvious cuts around the eye. Well, we'll try and figure out what happened to that one. Oh, they're all coming out. All of them. Now, one has gone to drink, but I think we might be a bit late to catch it drinking. So let's hope this other lioness sort of heads on over. And they've been very kind this afternoon, just very quietly coming out one at a time. Just one at a time, which is very nice. They've been sleeping away in a tambwiti thicket for most of the day, keeping out of the sun. I don't blame them. Now, something that we don't know, unfortunately, is what these lions ate this morning. And so there we go, Francis from Israel. I'm so sorry. We haven't got a clue. Tristan was the one who found them, and he said when he got here, they had swollen bellies and they were still covered in blood. So I haven't got a clue what they ate, neither does Tristan. This lioness, they've all got, biggish bellies. She doesn't have as big as the others. But there are a lot of lions in here. So, it is, here we go, there's two more. Is that old Amber Eyes coming out there? Yes, hello girl. It's difficult to say. I mean, even a small buffalo, would have done them good. What are they looking at? I think they're looking at maybe the other lion that's already gone to drink, one of the youngsters. 1, 2, 3, all big girls are here. Is that the one with the injured eye? Oh no, maybe it was just seeing things. Hard to tell. Come on around. It'll be nice to actually get a chance to have a look at these lionesses in the day when they're not squabbling over a carcass. Now, Joanna, I'm not sure if those are injuries from the Avakas. Like I said, I haven't seen the Nkuhuma Pride for a very long time. I think we're going to reverse, though, VM, once this lioness goes. She's not just also decided she wants to go with the rest. We'll go watch them drink water. I suspect that's where they're going. I don't know what's happened to the sub-adults either. The last time I saw them, they were sort of face deep in a... Oh, no. We're trapped. Well, basically, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure we don't drive over any thickets. I'm going to have to wait for her. She's using luxury facilities at the moment. This might take a while. Do you want a newspaper, girl? Sorry, that's also the antenna in the way there. Basically, I haven't seen them. And the last time I did see them properly was, like I said, they were eating a buffalo carcass. It was very hard to tell what had gone on. Shame, little one. That doesn't look too nice. So I'm going to have a proper look around and get all these cats having a drink of water. So I'm going to reposition very quickly. And while we do that, I'm going to send you to Tristan. So, well... see if he's any closer to finding Hukumuri. Oh, they say they're having a drink. That's for certain. Lions, what on earth have you lot been up to that you've all got these injuries? I actually can't even remember when the old Nkuhuma lioness got that injury in her eye. I was in I think I may have been in the Mara when it happened. I can't ever recall seeing her with that injury. Now, the other lion, the little lion, who's not so little anymore, but the sub-adult, like I said, there's no obvious scratches at all. So I don't know if a stick maybe poked it in the eye. Like I said, it could just be an infection. It's very difficult to tell, I'm afraid. But maybe it will be okay. It looked a bit sort of mucky, and, you know, there was a little bit of fluid around the eye. It seemed to be quite sensitive to the sun. But again, these animals are so tough and resilient. We just have to look at that Nkuhuma lioness that had the massive gaping gash on her hip and how she recovered. That was pretty impressive. I'm sure you'll all agree with me, because everyone was very worried about her and thought that she may pass on. That was a serious injury, and she's definitely vulnerable to infection. But she's pulled through. So let's just hope. It doesn't matter. You know what? If that lion unfortunately loses sight in its one eye, she's still going to be able to carry on. They live in a pride. She's not living on her own, so they've got one another to rely on too. Now, just going back to what we were just speaking about, Magic Mag and Dragon. Oh no, VM. Can you hear that? Oh no. Hang on. Oh no, everybody, I'm getting a flat tire. It sounds like it's coming from the valve. Okay, well, I'm going to obviously have to leave the lions to change the tire. That's fun. Lions, please don't go anywhere. Like, don't go far. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, everybody. We have a flat tire. Yay! It's going... So while we go and find a safe spot to change the tire and hope that the Nkuhumas don't run away, I'm going to send you back to Tristan. Try a changing event, huh, lions? Did you enjoy watching us? We didn't actually park very far away from these cats. Maybe like 150 meters from where they are. One little... I keep saying little because in my heart, the Nkuhuma cubs are still cubs and not sub-adults anymore. But one of the youngsters just stood and watched from a distance like, what are you people doing? Why are you out of the car? We hid behind some bushes, but she sort of took a few steps to make herself known. But they're all very relaxed, as you can see. I'm just going to have a sip of water. Ha! Whew. That's delicious. Now, our dear friend Michael Fleetwood has been very kind and started putting together some great ID cards for the Nkuhumas. So thank you again for that, Michael. And Kim, one of those ID cards is of course of floppy ear. My favorite little lion cub who does not have a floppy ear anymore. And I haven't seen all of the lions now. I mean, I was hoping to see them when they were drinking water and have a proper look at them. But now I don't know how to tell her apart. I remember she always used to have relatively sort of amber eyes. I'm wiping everything because I promise you I'm absolutely filthy. I'm not quite a germaphobe. I just don't like dirt. So if any of you know which one our darling dearest, the floppy-eared lion who is no longer floppy-eared is, you can let us know. I'm waiting for her personality to stand out. We've got one youngster here and then the young male. And I don't know, maybe that's her. Not the two we're looking at, these are adults. These are, of course, adults walking around. They don't seem to be too bothered by the heat, as you can see, up and down, which is quite nice for us. Just enjoying the shade, panting heavily. Obviously, they've had a decent breakfast. I reckon they'll go out hunting tonight, though. Or maybe tomorrow morning, looking for their next meal. Maybe this afternoon if we're really, really, really lucky, of course. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, oh, Vim, goodness gracious. That's the quickest pan I've ever seen in the whole world. Well done. VM could do the Olympics for this. So, Costa, yes, you're quite correct in saying that lions and leopards typically keep away from one another. Specifically, the leopards trying to keep away from the lions. Because as myself, Tristan and Brent have witnessed many, many times, and some of you even while watching Safari Live, Lions love to steal kills whenever there's an opportunity, whether it's from wild dogs, whether it's from a cheetah, a clan of hyenas, or even a leopard with its kill up in the tree. They'll quite happily chase those spotted cats away and will claim their kill for their own and eat it. So yes, they try and avoid it one another. Ooh. This sounds very exciting and very promising. It seems as though Brent has not quite found Hukumuri just yet. There's kudus alarming, and now it seems as though he's got some tracks. Yep, we haven't gone anywhere, and I think I found our little floppy-eared girl. Is this her? Did you once used to have an ear that flopped? Yes? The reason why I think it's her, because she didn't quite have the same coloured eyes as Amber Eyes did, one of our favourite lionesses, but she didn't have yellow eyes, and she looks like the youngest one in the Pride, and she should be the youngest one in the Pride. So this looks like her to me. Perhaps you can confirm. You can hashtag Safari Live. Let me know, yay or nay. But I think it is her for now. And there's another little one just sitting to the right that's actually also got the most gorgeous eyes and keeps looking up into the air. Perhaps they've seen some of those vultures that were flying around, well, probably are flying around near the elephant carcass. But they are so, so beautiful. Man, I love this pride of lions. Now, something quite interesting is we didn't see any lions at that carcass. I haven't been watching the camera right through the evening, though, so maybe some of you saw differently. So, Claudia, no lions that I saw of went to the carcass at all. However, I did have the entire Nkuhuma Pride's tracks going past it. Not right next to the carcass, but just on one of the roads. But they looked like they stopped and they sniffed, and then they carried on going again. I'm so sorry. I drank my water so quickly. I've got hiccups now. And what is on that one side? Can you see that, Via? On this one here. What's hanging from the side there? It's a stick. Oh, looks like it's maybe just attached to the hair. Maybe it's not a thorn going inside. Otherwise, oh, and now? What is that all about? Looks like it got a bit of a sore hip all of a sudden, or maybe just stood funny, but it's back again. Now, the reason why, Claudia, I don't think that those lions went to that kill is because of basically everything that's changing at the moment. The evoker males being around and stirring a bit of nonsense here, potentially being the ones that killed the youngest cub of the Nkuhuma Pride, which is very, very sad. The fact that it's still not here means that I think it's gone just with everything that happened. I mean, those boys came charging on in. So I think they thought if they went and ate there, that's basically a hot spot. All the vultures around with the hyenas, the whooping, the scent that'll be down on the ground, the scent from the carcass. I think they thought that they'd be very vulnerable heading down there. And I think they just want to lay low at the moment. I'm almost certain that this is our floppy-eared girl. There's just something about her that's sort of shouts sassiness, but we'll see when she gets up and walks. Okay? We'll have to see when you eat on a carcass if you're still as frisky as you were before. Now, VM and I are quite excited this afternoon because it is only 4:10 Central African time, and these cats are up and down already. So here we go, putting myths sort of to rest. Big cats do move around during the heat of the day. Now, as far as I'm concerned, or not concerned, I understand, Dale, we've only lost one cub now this year, which is very sad, of course. So there should be 5 adult lionesses and 6 sub-adults, 1 being a male. Unfortunately, we did lose 2 of these, that would have been sub-adults now last year to white muscle disease. It was quite sad. I think 1 was a male, 1 was a female. But there initially were 8 Nkuhuma cubs. But sadly, no more. There you go. Another one just walking behind the car. So there should be 11 of them. What happened to the tuft on her tail? Does it look short to you, Via? Little bit. Looks like it's missing a little bit of the tuft of the black there. Perhaps she just never had much of it at all. Maybe she hasn't brushed it yet today. But all of them kindly blocking VM and I in as well. Landmines everywhere. We don't really know where to go. I shall move for you. We shall follow the cats. And now I'm scared. There was an enormous bit of dung that one lioness produced. Sure, I was quite surprised, in fact. It looked like about 4 lions had defecated in one spot. Yes, right, let's go around. Fantastic. Kitty cats, you're moving out into the open. Paula, it should be... Oh, that's a foul smell. It should be a couple of weeks before that lioness that lost the cub comes back into estrus again. And hopefully the Birmingham boys will be around, because that might, of course, cause a stir. I'm just going to park us here. You can see that lion VM is, of course, just living in the camera because I parked like an idiot up on the slope. But the lioness with the injury, I'm so impressed with her. She really, really is coming along nicely. It does look like she's opened that wound just a little bit, but that's probably from licking. And remember, if they are charging after a buffalo or prey of sorts through these sort of thickets, it's quite easy that she's going to open it again. A branch might hook on it. If she's scrapping with the other lions, it could reopen the wound. But it does look like every day it's getting better, and she's also most certainly putting on weight again. And that's the most important thing, is that she's gaining weight, she's gaining muscle, they're eating regularly, and she's keeping that wound nice and clean, which is great, great, great news. And it's obviously just a bit difficult for that one that's got the eye injury, because she's unable to lick it clean. She'll just have to, well, let it heal on its own, and hopefully her eye will be okay. But yes, it will definitely sort of stop her from being as good of a hunter as what she may have been with both eyes. But it's just one of those things she'll learn to live with her disability and carry on. Right, Tristan is not too far away. He's made his way down towards the elephant carcass. Let's go see if there's any scavengers hanging about. You say this, but I don't think I'm the one that enjoys Easter eggs the most in camp. Louise is pretty good at eating Easter eggs. VM, who else is the Easter egg sneaker? Darby. Darby is terrible. Nikki, you didn't eat the Easter eggs, did you? I don't know. There's quite a few Easter egg lovers in camp. I'm very fussy. I'm like Nikki. Nikki and I don't like the marshmallows inside the Easter eggs. You can give us the Ferrero Rochers, the Lindt ones. Now I want those chocolates. Anyways, so yes, we don't do marshmallows, but all the other chocolate we, of course, will eat. And I hope that that Easter bunny is ready to leave the moon. It's a long way to Earth, because, I know that the Easter bunny lives in the moon. Willow, if you're still watching, we'll see if we can try and show you the Easter bunny in the moon tonight. It's very cool. And you better come back down here. Sometimes they say when you get older, the Easter bunny doesn't come and visit you as much, but he came last year, and I'm hoping that at 25, he's still going to come and visit us. VM, you want the Easter lion to come and visit you? I heard you whispering. Easter lion would be quite terrifying. Imagine him knocking on your door. Hello, VM. Don't mean to disturb, but here's your Easter eggs. That'd be terrifying. Yes. So, say again? As long as he wants a white lion Easter bunny. Fair enough. That is true. There we go. You've heard it, from the one and only VM. He'll be here all night. Anyways, now we've got a carpet of lions, which is my favorite. Oh, goodness, this is going to be a long day. Which is my favorite collective noun for a group of lions. And like I said, there's no real wrong collective noun for a group of cats, or any animal, in fact. So get creative. Let's see if anybody's got anything different. I like a carpet of lions. That's my favorite. VM, what's your favorite collective noun to use to describe a group of cats? We'll ask VM just now. Ooh. Now, chat noir, I don't know what the lions would do if they have a runt in the litter. I suppose it's really just got to fight for its right in the pride. I don't think the lionesses would ever, I suppose if they didn't want it, some lionesses end up abandoning their cubs. That definitely happens. But I mean, I've never witnessed lions going, we don't want this cub anymore type thing. So if there's a little one, well, they're going to have to just try their absolute best to keep up with the rest of them and make sure that it can fight for an opportunity to suckle. That's going to be its biggest thing, is just not getting enough milk. So if it can make it past that and all the bullying that it will receive from everyone else, then it'll grow up to be fine. It'll just have very strong character, I suppose. No, kitty cats, I can see you want to get up. Now, if we try and find some lion that's sitting not in the grass, which seems to be impossible now. Chat Noir, was it Chat Noir, or did I already answer that question? Gordo, I already did that one, sorry, Gordo. So Gordo, what we're trying to show you is, there we go, now this youngster is going to stand up, and we can quickly have a look at the sort of spots that the lion has. So they're not quite rosettes, they're more sort of spots, and it's very typical for young lions to have it. When they're small, they're completely covered in them, and it's to help with camouflage. However, as they get older, some of them don't lose their spots at all. Those spots don't necessarily fade. Other lionesses lose them completely, or it's the same thing with male lions too. So it's really just there for camouflage when they are younger. That's all. I do want to just tell everybody that I'm still on lock with these lions. Let's see how much chatter there is. Otherwise, they don't get any update. Guess who's chatting on the radio? Chatterer Tristan. Maybe while he's on the radio, he can update my lion sighting for me and say that there's still a chili pan and that I'm still here. Because I can just see the radios going and going and going, and I don't like a gamed up radio. It's the worst thing in the whole world. What are you cats doing? You're in the sun, then you want to go to the shade? And then you're in the sun. Now they're all moving back to the shade again. This is so funny. It's like they're fidgety. I mean, I don't think they look too uncomfortable. Sometimes the lion's bellies are touching the ground, which I can imagine can't be very nice. I mean, I bet all of you have at some point in your life overindulged to the point that you've got severe stomach cramps. These cats don't look like they would have stomach cramps at the moment. Normally after they've feasted on a buffalo for 2 days. You might be able to see that. And also you sort of can see the lions, and this is a bit gross, but it's just one of those things. I don't think it's gross because it's normal. Their stool was quite hard, in fact. And sometimes when they've got those big bursting bellies, they tend to have a very sort of upset stomach and can tend to have diarrhea. But not from what I could see. So that's why I don't think they did overindulge in anything. I think they just had the right amount. Very cool, though, to see these cats. Oh, there we go. What do we have answers for? What was the question? Oh, yes, the collective noun. I was like, what happened? Louise, for your collective noun of lions, you've said a cuddle of lions. That's very cute. A cuddle. Very nice. Good luck going to cuddle these lions. I don't know if they'd want you to cuddle with them. I'm just watching what's happening. Really hoping that a herd of Inyala come walking on through here. That would be ideal. Now, they haven't shown too many signs of waking up. They're standing up, sitting down, but nothing too much. Monty, spread of lions is the one that you've gone with. That's a goodie too. A spread of lions. I like that. See, you can just get so creative. Ooh. Cassandra, a laze of lions. Good, that's another goodie. That is very nice. I mean, you can go all out here. Ooh, there we go. UK expat, I'm with Nikki on this one. I don't know what it means, but it sounds great. A lollygag of lions? Perhaps you can elaborate a little bit more to help our simple South African minds understand what lollygag means. I'm just joking. When I say simple South African minds, please don't get offended. I don't mean that in any offensive way whatsoever. I'm just trying to be a little bit funny. It maybe wasn't so funny, so I take it back. Let's just forget. This is the part where I pick up one of those things from Men in Black that erase your memory. Got one of those. Where are you going, girl? Okay, so one lioness has decided, right? She's done with laying about. She's going to go on the move now. A couple of the youngsters are staring at her, and I'm hoping they're going to follow her. Could be going to another set of pans. So this is quite exciting. So what we'll do is we'll jump up ahead of her, because I think the rest of them will just follow. And let's go see if Brent has still got his nose to the floor. Goodness. Like I said, I'm a bit nervous for this cricket match now tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, still standing firm with what I had to say this morning. My money's on Tristan being the best cricketer out of them all. I'm pretty sure Brent is a good cricketer. He's very good at all the sports that he does. He's also, again, he's quite a sporty lad. Tristan is also a very sporty lad. We've got many a sporty lad. Conrad as well, our technical genius. That's going to be exciting to watch. Oh, unfortunately, Darby's going on leave, so he won't be able to partake, but I'd imagine that he can bowl a ball. I'm trying to think, who else? Who else in camp plays cricket? I can't think. I'm going to try my best. I, however, have not played cricket in a very long time, and I think the last time I even played car park cricket was in 2015, or maybe early 2016. It has definitely been a while. So tonight, when we get back to camp, I shall be practicing my bowling against a wall and making sure that I can... Oh, I'm stuck. I'm trapped. My camera was on my lap. And make sure that I still know where to place the ball and how to hold it. Tristan's going to have to give me a few lessons. The batting I'm not too worried about. I'm just going to block it because I know Brent's going to bowl really fast, but that's fine. Used to it. I can handle that. And I think we're playing with a tennis ball. It's not going to be sore. I've been hit with worse. I've got just brothers. So I've been hit with a lot worse than just a tennis ball. I'm not too worried about. That can come as fast as it needs to. So yeah, it's going to be good fun. I'm pretty sure there'll be lots of videos. I'm just excited to field. I just want to catch the brains. No, that's going to sound too... I'm sorry, you started giggling. Let me reword that very carefully. I don't know how else to say it. Anyways, I'm just really excited to catch the guys out in terms of, well, catching the ball. I almost dug myself a deep grave there. Let's reposition on that happy note because we've got two lionesses, but we thought we were going to go off on the prowl. But that was not the case at all. They just came to land the shade. And now I have to go straight back because I've got two mud wallows, one on either side. Oh, I didn't even tell you about Gregory today, our tortoise. Our camp tortoise was very funny. I walked out of my room, and as I walked out of my room, I looked down on the ground, and there was tortoise tracks going all the way through camp. But I kid you not, they go to everybody's sort of steps. They go one way, and then they zigzag to the next room, and I'm going, where's this tortoise? So she was behind the fire pit on her way to the kitchen. So I paid Gregory a visit. She climbed up onto my lap. Not even a lie. There will be videos that I'll get sent to me just now and a picture of her sitting on my lap. I did give her a grape. I gave her a grape. That was naughty of me, but she was so desperate for a grape. She loves grapes. Anyways, here's more lions. Hello, lions. I've now lost Floppy Ear, who I suspected was Floppy Ear. Now, it's a pity we can't see the young Nkuhuma male. I don't know where he is. He could be just laying flat. Maybe that's him there, but it's on, I don't know. So Safari Cell, it is quite, is that him? No, is that a lioness on the far left? Sorry, I'm just trying to find him. Is that him there? Yes, that looks like him. Look at those. He's got whiskers now, a bit long whiskers. I'm not talking about his actual whiskers. I mean that his sort of beard that he's got going on over there. So Safari Cell, you can normally start to see a male as young as about 6 months, sort of with just longer tufts of hair on his chest than the girls. But obviously it becomes more and more prominent by about a year. You can start to see it. But it's going to take a long time. I mean, they've got very, very scruffy mange. You can just see a little mohawk starting on the sort of between his ears. It's a little baby mohawk. See that darker coloration of hair coming through. When he gets to about 3 years old, he'll have a decent mohawkish mane, if you will. And it's going to take well up to about 6, 7 years old before he develops his mane completely. So he's going to look very scrappy until he gets to about 5.5, 6 years old. And then he'll start looking like a proper male lion. You can see it from fairly young. Just very subtle, though, of course. They just look hairier than the girls. Now, he's not going to be in this pride for very long. I'm wondering how long the Birminghams are going to tolerate him for, because remember, this is the first time I think that they've actually sort of had a pride of their own, if you will. They were very young, new males coming into this area. So they might let him stay here for a little bit longer, especially as they're spending more and more time away sort of from home, from the Nkuhumas, from the Torchwood Pride, from the Styx Pride. So I typically it's between about 2.5 to 3.5 years that the coalition of males that sees to the prides will typically tolerate the youngsters before they get chased off. But again, that just depends on a number of different things, and we'll just have to wait and see. I'm trying to think. They're almost 2 now, aren't they? Some of them almost 2. So he's still got a little while, of course. Very nice. Now, when he disperses, we're not sure where he's going to go. Life obviously is very tough for young males. I mean, it's very tough for them when they start out as cubs. We know that the cats, unfortunately, don't have a very good sort of survival statistic until they reach adulthood. And he's going to have to move off and live in between other lions. So, Super Bikes, I think that was the name there. Apologies if that wasn't it. That was correct. Wonderful. He's probably going to get a name. When or what it's going to be, I have absolutely no idea. That'll, of course, be a discussion on its own at some other point. But I don't think we'll name him yet. They'll probably name him just before he disperses. Remember, we've got new lions coming into the area, so he also needs to watch out. He needs to be a little bit careful. But very sleepy cats. Vio and I was saying just before, we got a bit too excited in thinking that these cats were going to get up and on the go. Instead, they've now flopped back down after a drink of water, where I reckon they'll probably sleep for a little while longer. Now, here's something I'm not very good at, and it's identifying different lionesses. And I know, of course, Amber Eyes is an easy one to identify. So thank you very much, Nikki, for giving me that answer. Apparently, the oldest lioness in the pride is indeed the one with the injury on her hip. So there we go, Soccer Dash. I didn't actually know that. But thank you, Nikki. Nikki, I know you've also been working hard on the IDs of the various females. So we need to get back into that. Again, they're all just hiding away. They won't just sit up and look at me for 10 minutes so I can get a good look at them again. I'm very hot and bothered. I think the flies and things are annoying them every now and then. But I think what we might do is, because they've gone fairly flat, they're probably going to have another siesta. I think we might actually move on for a little bit, do a couple of loops and laps, check some watering holes. Maybe we find some elephants. I'm not staring straight into the sun. It's so wonderful. Look at that. Isn't that attractive? It's so nice. Let me try to do that. It's about time, Tristan, because the amount of nonsense I've spoken over the past few days is far too high. So it is nice to have some animals for a change. They've been avoiding me. We've actually been fairly lucky, don't you think? With all the sightings we've seen, from starting off with lions, dwarf mongoose, hippos, all sorts of birds. It's been very, very cool. In fact, on lots of stories. There's always time for stories. So only one lioness has got her head up. The rest of them are all flat, and fast asleep. But I'm hoping that that's going to change because the temperature has dropped significantly now. Now, if these evoker males arrive in the pride, everyone's of course very worried about the lions, and Philip, you're most certainly worried too. And I think that these cubs would be old enough now to survive a takeover. I mean, they're almost the size of the adults. They're almost 2 years old now. Normally it's if they're sort of less than a year, up to a year and a half. But even then, I think these cats would run. Even if they ran away and hid for a while. But to be honest, I think they'll be fine. I mean, these lionesses are going to soon start coming into estrus again. And because the evokers seem to be the ones that are putting pressure, if anything, I mean, they're just putting a little bit of pressure on, not much. Again, that inexperience may work in the Nkuhuma's favor. They might not know. I always tell the story about Mandlev hiding her cubs from the Charleston males. and she got them to think that after mating with her once, a month later, oh, look at my 4 or 5 month old cubs. She was a very clever girl. She's an older lioness, and I suspect she's probably not the first time she's done something like that. So I think the inexperience may work in the Nkuhuma's favor, and these cubs will be old enough. Unfortunately, that other little one didn't stand a chance. It was very sad. Hello, boy. Big belly. He definitely got some of whatever they ate this morning. Ooh. This is a hard one, Aaron. This is a very difficult question to answer. Goodness, you have to try and cough. And the question was, because I'm just going to repeat it word for word, how many lion cubs would a lioness have on average over her entire life? Well, again, it depends. Some lionesses will have their first litter at about 3 years old, somewhere around there. Whether that litter survives, like Tristan was saying, the chances of survival for a lioness or a leopard's first litter is sort of slim to none. It's not uncommon for them to lose their first cubs to a number of different reasons. And they typically have cubs every 2 to 2.5 years, or maybe a bit more, every 2.5 years or so. They'll have another set of cubs. So Mandlev was old. Mandlev must be about, 14, 15 years old, and she had cubs in 2016. I'm just trying to think. It's almost an impossible question to try and answer, because lions can have anywhere between, most common amount of cubs to have is normally between 2 and 4. Here we sort of see 2 and 3 being the most common amount. So then do they make it to adulthood? Aaron, I don't know if I can give you a proper answer. I have not studied lions long enough, and I can't say that I've ever watched one particular lioness for her entire lifespan from start to finish to be able to count how many cubs she has. So it's a difficult one, but perhaps somebody like Tristan, who's been in the Sabi Sand forever, since it was first opened. No, I'm only joking, of course, but he's just been in the Sabi Sand for a very long time, working down in the south and up in the north too. He might be able to give you an answer. Maybe he's got a specific lioness that he's sort of followed over the years. So I don't know if I can answer that sort of with much confidence. I think you'd have to be a lion researcher, probably, someone that's spent years and years and years, 15, 20 years following prides of lions within a specific area. Again, it'll be different depending on which area that's in. So you go into a lot of different things. So yeah, I'm going to honestly struggle to answer that one. So I'm going to give it a skip. I don't think they'll have too many, to be honest. I don't think there'll be too many cubs that will make it to adulthood. Maybe just a couple, really, which is quite sad. In fact, it's not great. I believe it's very sad about the Southern Pride at the moment. That whole pride's just been completely demolished by young males coming in, trying to take over, females refusing to obviously mate with them killing the females. It's a very tough life. Where's that go-away bird that's shouting now? Can you hear it? Can you hear it shouting? I think it's somewhere here, but it might just be in a bush somewhere that we can't see. Just sitting low down. It's alarming at the lions, though. We're watching from a distance. Being a spoil sport. But let's go to Tristan and ask him, Aaron, about what you've just asked me. Maybe he has got a couple of stories to share. Well, we've changed it up a little bit now. As you can see, we moved away from the 4 that were also laying flat in the open to, well, another 5 that are laying flat and panting heavily. They look like they're dreaming quite hard, the way that they're laying on their backs and their paws to the sky. It doesn't look like these cats are going to go anywhere just yet. But why do they need to? I suppose there's no reasoning behind it. It is going to be full moon, so there's going to be a lot of light around. Not exactly the hunting conditions that lions want. They want it to be dark. They want it to be windy, perhaps even a bit of rain, to give them the best possible chances of catching something. So maybe they're going to take it easy tonight and just rest up around Chele Pan and wait for animals to come towards them. And this is normally a hot spot with impala, normally a lot of inyala around here. Maybe the old buffalo comes wandering on through too. That's always a possibility. I'm sorry, I'm swatting flies because they're biting me, as they normally do at this time of the day, these little midges that come out. There they are, fast asleep. So we'll sit with them for a little bit longer, but I don't think we're going to spend the entire drive here unless they show some signs of getting up. Now, just going back a little bit, trying to, of course, remember when I first met Amber. I suppose it would have been the first time I met the Nkuhuma Pride, so it would have been late 2016. Fun Farmer, I can't ever recall ever seeing Amber Eyes showing any signs of her being pregnant. I don't even think we saw her lactating. I think Ali may have seen her lactating. Remember when was that, Fiam? You may have actually been in the Mara already. It must have been around April, May, June, July? Somewhere around there, just before the migration started, before most of the team went up to the Mara. We had this incident. I apologize, I do forget exactly when it was, but there was a young little cub that Ali had stumbled across, and we were confused. We didn't know if it was the youngest Nkuhuma lioness's cub or if it was Amber Eye's cub. Okay, cool. Nikki's actually pulled out a document. She's just going to update me very quickly. When exactly was that, Nix? 6th of June last year. And it was never seen again. It was only seen once, and Amber Eyes wasn't too sure about it. I remember that. But she did pick up the little one and move it away. So, it's hard to say. No one can confirm for sure. I don't think we ever got any footage of her lactating, but maybe I'm mistaken. Again, I wasn't in that sighting. So you can let me know. You can hashtag Safari Live and let me know if we did ever see her lactating. We've seen her mating. Oh. Never seen again. So we're just getting an update from Tristan as well now. He said that he had a report from a guide once that Amber Eyes did have 3 very young cubs that were seen once and then again, never seen again. So, it's hard to say. I've never seen her lactating. I've seen her mating many, many times, and she is always so unhappy about the fact that she has to mate with the males. I've never seen lions sort of so frustrated and annoyed by this entire process. But she knows if she doesn't mate with him, then the lions could turn around, the big males could end up killing her as well. So there we go. So there's some reports, and we'll just keep watching and observing, and hopefully we'll slowly be able to give you more and more answers, Fun Farmer. But for now, we just wait and see. We wait till the lionesses come into estrus again and see what happens. VM, do you want me to reposition for you again? While we've got one lion. Oh, never mind. I don't even have to go anywhere. I forgot the camera can swivel. And here we go. Flat down again. Now, in order to be able to pick up if a lion does have a fertility problem, you'd have to get the vets involved. First Lady, there's no ways that we would be able to tell just by looking at a lion. It goes a bit deeper than that, and there'd have to be blood tests. I'd imagine that they'd have to check estrogen levels and a variety of different things. Maybe go as far as checking if the ovaries have developed properly. So there's a number of different ways, but I think personally, I'm not a vet of any sorts. Of course, none of us here are vets. Just by looking at an animal, being able to say that it's infertile, we can't do that. There could be a number of different complications that blood tests and ultrasounds, perhaps, physical examination would be able to give answers. But again, it's one of those things. It's nature. Sabi-San policy, of course, is to not intervene. We obviously, with the exception, we do remember that the Sabi-San were considering putting that big elephant bull down, because it's a serious hazard. He comes wandering around camp. There's lots of people that are walking around here, and they were considering that. But other than that, unless it's an injury caused by human interference, they're probably not going to do much about it. And one lion having an infertility problem, it's just one of those things. She's obviously not meant to pass on her genes. But again, we're speculating. We don't know that for sure. Maybe she's just unfortunate and hasn't been successful in raising cubs. Maybe she keeps having the odds against her. Maybe new males come in and take out her cubs. Maybe it's a leopard that's doing it. Perhaps it's a troop of baboons or a clan of hyenas. No one really knows. Again, we haven't observed anything, so we can only speculate. Yeah. Nikki's just reading back on a couple of things, and it's pretty consistent. Remember at one point, her and Amber Eyes and the youngest lioness, they were mating very, very regularly with all the Birmingham boys, and Nikki's just said Amber Eyes in particular was, mating regularly every 2 to 3 months. So it's a mystery. Unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to get to the bottom of it. Like I said, unless you had to get the vets involved, and the amount of trauma and stress that causes a cat, complications that go with anesthetics is a nightmare. And you know what? If you don't need to, rather leave it. Rather not. Kitty cats, not even a yawn from any of you. Just rolling around every now and then. Okay, well, we'll sit here for a little bit longer and see if they are going to wake up. Otherwise, we're going to go and look for other nocturnal creatures. Maybe tonight is the night to find a chameleon, or perhaps the snake. Or if we go to Tristan, I bet he's looking for similar things. We are with the lions, but I don't think for too much longer. There's not been one yawn. There's the odd sigh here and there. Breathing deeply. But that's all, I'm afraid. The odd ear twitch, as you can see. Otherwise, very, very quiet. Yeah, like I said, I think they're going to take advantage of the cool air and just relax a little bit longer than they normally do, which is fine. They're allowed to do that. They've had a hard day. At least they got up earlier in the drive for us. Now, earlier we had that go-away bird that was shouting, and I said to you that go-away bird is probably shouting for the lions, and I can hear a little testicular of sorts also just going which I assume is for the other lionesses that we can't see at the moment. So, Eloise, birds and squirrels and things like that, they will alarm at all the predators because they do essentially pose a threat. I mean, we've just got to go back to watching young Hosana and Shongile. They were chasing after birds. They were chasing after terrapins. They were also, shooting up trees and chasing squirrels. So, even though a fully grown lion doesn't necessarily pose a threat to something like a bird or a squirrel, unless they were absolutely desperate. Perhaps they were skin and bones and they couldn't bring down anything bigger. A little guinea fowl snack or a squirrel snack would do them the world of good. So they do constantly need to and have to alarm. And then, not only are they warning all the other birds and squirrels and things like that, but they're warning the impala, they're warning the buffalo, the elephants. They're telling all the animals around that there's predators here. Unfortunately, no one likes the predators. Look at those three pushing one another around. Thank you. Thank you very much. You obviously heard me subtly complaining about your lazy lion habits, which of course we know are essential. We've got to conserve all that energy. And like I said, they worked hard this morning. They showed Tristan how efficient they were in terms of hunting. Well done. It's something that we don't often get to see. Not that we saw the hunt, but at least we got to see them licking their lips and cleaning themselves. Hello, Marcusian Aviation. You're a new viewer. Great to have you. Yes, we do this every single day, not just once a day. We do it twice a day too. It's a big yawn from a lion. So you can join us every afternoon. The Sunset Safari starts at 3:30 to 6:30 Central African time, and then it all happens again at first light on the Sunrise Safari, where drive starts from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central African time. And you've joined at the most perfect moment, because the lions aren't lazing around. They're yawning and stretching in their heartbeat and starting to wake up, and this is when they do thrive at night. I'm also hoping that Tristan's going to be able to see where the moon comes up from, because I think we're not going to have the best view, I'm afraid. There's one girl walking on over. Are you going to head towards the other lionesses that are just laying off into the distance? No, going to say hello. Very social cats. Wait, constantly saying hello to one another. Marcusian Aviation, I don't even need to tell you how to answer or ask questions because you figured that out. You've now asked, where is this? Well, currently, I'll give you the lowdown. I'm sitting near a little watering hole called Chele Pan, which is on Djuma Private Game Reserve, which is within the Sabi Sand Wildtuin and the Greater Kruger National Park, essentially. Maybe you've heard of the Kruger National Park. We're not in Kruger. We're in the Greater Kruger. So we're on the outskirts. There's no fence between us and the Kruger. So these lions can go wherever they want. And, yes, and we're in South Africa, most importantly. That's where we are, which is epic. So thank you and welcome. And, I always say this, apologies for your latest addiction. I promise you, you're not going to be able to switch it off. Even though these lions are up and down right now, we often get to watch leopards and lions hunting and successfully taking down prey. We have cool, strange sightings like watching snakes, chase or trying to chase away mongoose species for prey. My goodness, elephants swimming. Can you believe it? That's always quite cool to see too. So we're very spoiled with the sightings. And then we go right down on the bushwalk to looking at the smaller things, turning over leaves, seeing insects, tasting plants, teaching you about medicinal uses, dead elephants, watching an entire elephant carcass disappear in front of your eyes, hyenas and vultures. So we basically get to see the circle of life out here. This is, again, it's all in the wild. This isn't in any way a zoo. These animals are not tame. They simply are just habituated to the vehicle. So that's another cool thing. Sometimes the cats and all the animals will literally just walk past the vehicle. They normally don't pay too much attention to us. And as long as you sit still, you don't try and get their attention, you'll be safe. Oh, here's Bitcoin Ninja, who's my new friend. I'm so glad that you're still watching. So there we go. Bitcoin Ninja is also a relatively new viewer and said that I'm not kidding. You're now watching every single day. Yeah, I told you. It's a problem. A good kind of problem, though. The addiction you want in your life, where you can come and you can laugh and you can sort of, if you've had a very stressful day, I always recommend putting Safari Live on. Just because sometimes we're a bit silly. Sometimes nature is hysterical. Actually, if you watch while I'm around, sorry, I don't know which way, got caught out there. Nature's pretty hysterical around me. I'm quite lucky. So we do have a lot of laughs, and that's what we strive to do, is educate you, put a smile on your face. Like I always say, put your feet up, have a beverage in your hand, an apple juice. You'll learn what an apple juice is, or maybe somebody can tell you what an apple juice is. And of course, just enjoy yourself. So let me formally introduce myself. I'm Taylor, and bringing this amazing footage is VM. And then you'll meet Tristan. Brent has gone home now because it's too dark for bushwalk. And soon you'll meet Steve and Ralph, and you might see Jamie and Scott as well. James is also around. There's a whole bunch of us, which is pretty cool. And on that happy note, I'm going to send you across to Tristan, though. He's just on a bumble, sort of looking for those nighttime critters. I love it. You know what? No one ever believes me, but I never used to eat chocolate. I hated it. I really, really didn't like it. I don't know why. I don't know what was wrong with me, but don't worry. I've now changed. Everything is fine again. I eat all the chocolate in the whole world now. It's now delicious. I love it. Except the marshmallow chocolate. Not into that at all. So yes, I, as a kid growing up, the Easter Bunny would bring me pajamas and Pringles. I don't know how the Easter Bunny knew this, which was pretty cool. And for all the young viewers that are watching, because there might be some of you watching, my mom actually phoned me, and she's very lucky. She's got a direct contact with the Easter Bunny, and the Easter Bunny said that when I come home, so I found this out, my mom actually just gave me a call now, and basically just said that because I'm not going to be home for Easter, and the Easter Bunny can't go to everybody's residence all the time, so he's just going to leave my present at home for me. I will be getting pajamas again, no Easter egg, which I thought was quite cool. I'm looking forward to that. I need a new pair of pajamas. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to be winter ones or summer ones. We'll have to see. I'll post a picture, obviously, because I love to overshare. At some point, we'll have a look at what pajamas the Easter Bunny left me. But I'm quite happy for the camper Easter Bunny, because I don't think they'll not give us anything. He'll not give us anything. I'll get some sort of chocolate. Otherwise, luckily, our shopping order consists of many slabs of chocolate. I'll just eat those. I'll be happy with that. And now look at us. We did lions in color. Now we've got lions in infrared. How cool is that? So for all the new viewers that have joined in, I apologize for making the camera shake. I'm shuffling in the car. VM's about to bop me on the head. And those of you that don't know what infrared is, it's a special type of light that animals don't see. We don't see that light either. And it's getting very dark. I can still sort of see the cats, but in the next 10 minutes or so, it's going to be complete darkness and we won't be able to see a thing, but we'll still be able to see them, but without affecting them. And this is really great for when they go hunting. Obviously, we don't like to move around too much when lions or any predator is on the go and looking for something to eat, potentially stalking. This infrared light is great for that. We can just sit back and sort of watch without putting that big bright spotlight. The only time we really use our spotlights now is for spotting. In fact, we use it to spot chameleons, and once we've found a leopard moving through the bush or a lion or a hyena, we switch to infrared and off we go. Kitty cats, you fooled me. You fooled me. I thought you were all waking up. You all just shuffled to a new spot to lay. They're laying on the sand. Perhaps they're getting the last of the warmth of the day. It's starting to get chilly now. The temperature is definitely changing quite quickly. Ooh. Philip, this is a difficult question to answer because I have yet to bump into the Easter Bunny as he's been making his way through the wilderness. So I don't know how the Easter Bunny doesn't manage to bump into lions and leopards. Perhaps there's some arrangement. I don't know. Maybe the Easter Bunny bribes the lions and leopards with, I don't know, things that lions and leopards might eat. I don't think they eat chocolate, but like I said, I didn't like chocolate as a kid, and the Easter Bunny knew that. So maybe they get Impala Easter eggs. Perhaps. No, this is getting ridiculous now. Feel free to chime in whenever you want. Look at them, fast asleep. Even me cackling and making all sorts of noises, the lions don't care. I mean, I don't know how they sleep through my loud voice. Oh, now, earlier you may have seen that one of the lionesses actually fell down onto a lioness fell down onto him. And Unique, I don't know if you managed to see that. But no, the young male is not quite as big as the lioness is just yet. Almost. Give him maybe another 6 to 8 months, and I think he'll almost be exactly the same size as them, maybe just slightly off. But this is the part of the time of his life where he's going to grow the quickest. I suppose it's essentially like being a 14-year-old boy. They're going to need to eat a lot, and you don't know when that growth spurt is going to happen, but it will. I mean, you see his footprints, and they're massive. So he's got big feet. His shoes are quite large. He's wearing size 12 like Brent, but he hasn't quite grown in terms of height, and he hasn't filled out with muscle just yet. But he'll get there. He definitely will. He's going to keep filling out right up until he's about 6, 7 years old, even older than that, even a little bit more than that. And again, then that sort of shape of his body will fluctuate depending on how much he's eaten and how regularly he has eaten. This is cool, though. It's quite nice to say that I'm spending my night out in the bush, surrounded by 11 lions as they sleep peacefully. Pretty epic. I don't think many people get to say that they can do that. And I'm still waiting for that Easter Bunny. I can't see him. Oh no, the bugs are coming now. This is the worst part. This is the only time of the evening that I'm not too fond of, is all the little bugs and things that start coming around. They're also getting active. It might have been a couple of alates, or perhaps some adult antlions, some lacewings that were flying about too. I did notice some very floppy wings. VM, this is not going anywhere, I'm afraid. I think we could sit with these lions for the next 2 hours, and they're not going to move. I think that they're just actually going to relax. So on that happy note, thank you very much, Nkuhuma Lions. We may come out and try and see you a little bit later, perhaps. But for now, I think we're going to cut our losses, and we spent quite a nice amount of time today. Work. These are lights on voice command. No. Work. No.
What you doing here? very, very sleepy lions, all of them. So you can see them kind of hanging about. Hey guys, and they are doing pretty much what they've done with Taylor all afternoon. Pretty much all of them are sleeping. There's one that's made it to the road, and this is exactly where we found them this morning. Interestingly enough, look at how much smaller their bellies are compared to this morning. This morning they had much, much, much larger bellies than what they have now. It's amazing how quickly they actually digest, but I'd imagine they're going to have a nice little nap this evening and probably will start getting up only much later when it really cools down quite a bit. Nice to have them around though. Nkuhuma Pride is always welcome on Djuma. They're a beautiful set of girls and wonderful to have them. Good. Now, we're going to probably leave the Nkuhumas because we didn't really want to bump into them. I was hoping they weren't going to be on the road, but we were, like I said, coming from where those alarm calls were. So we're going to go around them, and while we do that, let's send you back across to Taylor.